Technology and cameras are part of our daily lives, and most of the time we're looking for what's the best quality or the best image. I love photography and film, so with some help and suggestions, I found my research topic that focuses on both. I almost always have a camera with me for trips and fun things, and I like to share the results, so I want what makes everything look the best. But sometimes the best things are expensive or seem over the top, and I wonder if it's worth it, if certain things really make a difference. So, my project question is, at what point can the human eye stop seeing a difference in pixels and resolution? Before I could get the answer, I needed to understand some terminology I kept encountering in my research and some other basics like how the human eye works and what we can see. The cornea of our eye catches and focuses the available light, which is then further focused by the lens behind the pupil. The light is sent to the back, where the cones and rods receive it, rods detecting low light monochrome colors, and cones detect color and detail. Finally, the optic nerve receives the light message in an electric signal and sends it to the brain, who converts it back into the image we see. Some common terms I needed clarified were pixel, resolution, and megapixel. A pixel is simply only one small section on the screen as shown, and resolution is the number of pixels in a certain area on the screen, usually per square centimeter or inch. A megapixel is 1,000,000 collective pixels. While human eyes can't see in pixels, the estimated equivalent of pixels the human eye can see is approximately 8 megapixels. But wait, if a megapixel is 1,000,000 pixels, and the resolutions we have available to us most often are 1080p, 4K, and 8K, and we can see 8,000,000 pixels, we have the answer now, right? Well, not exactly. While we can technically see in the equivalent of 8 megapixels, that is the collective vision of our entire field of vision, but we can actually only see clearly in a section of 2 degrees at a time. Yes, that sounds crazy since we can see all around us clearly, but that's because our eyes are continuously shifting focus, and we process everything so quickly it appears as if that 2 degrees range is much larger. So what is the answer then? How high of a resolution can we see? Well, there are a lot of different factors. One of them is distance. If you're comparing resolutions, say 1080p and 4K, the closer you are to the device, the easier it is to tell the difference because you can see more detail at a closer range. But after a certain point of moving farther away, you likely can't tell the difference. Another point to make is that there's the quality of the image or video to consider. If you have, say, a high-quality stabilized picture in 4K resolution and a lower quality 8K picture, the 4K picture is going to look better despite the lower resolution, because the resolution is just the detail, but detail doesn't matter if the picture quality isn't good. YouTuber Matti Haapoja made some videos where he had a series of film shots strung together, shot in different resolutions of 1080p, 4K, and 8K, and left it to his audience to see if they could see a difference at first. How about we take a look at it and try to. Could you see a difference? Which resolution do you think goes with each cut? Here are the answers also provided by Matti. sometimes, isn't it? But you can sometimes tell a difference too, and that's the point. It's generally pretty easy to see which is 1080p and which is 8K, but it's also a little harder between the 4K and 8K, isn't it? That's because there's either a larger or smaller gap, and the 4K and 8K are already great resolutions, so it's hard to get better, let alone easy to see a difference. So, back to the beginning. At what point can we no longer tell a difference between resolutions? Well, we know it's possible to tell a difference sometimes between the resolutions we have right now. So now the question is, can we tell after 8K? Most of my research led to the conclusion of it's possible, but more likely not. We are getting to the point where technology and resolutions are so good that soon we probably won't be able to tell anymore. So, for now, the most consistent answer is that 8K is about as near the top of resolutions we can notice, and whatever comes next, if another does, is likely to not make much difference.